Gentlemen, a thought came to mind when I just hung up from the last food for thought. Yeah, I know you're gonna get a haircut. So I gotta be fresh for April 17th and throw some waves on. You know what I'm saying? So people get seasick looking at my hair. Anyway, this is why we read, gentlemen. This is why we read in the Gentleman's Club. This is why we stress reading in the Gentleman's Club. Napoleon Hill came rushing back to my mind when I saw the gentleman try to beat me at the red light. Is it worth it? I think is Think and Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. Is it worth it? That thought came barreling into my mind in a split second. And gentlemen, this is why you read, so that you give your brain and your mind something to chew on, something to eat, food for thought. Give your brain and mind and your subconscious something to devour, something nutritious. And believe you me, when you need it, it is going to come back at the right time. And you're going to be, just like me, grateful that you had read that book, so that the wisdom of that person will bubble up to the surface when you need it in less than a split second. In less than a split second, I avoided nonsense because Napoleon Hill's wisdom bubbled up from all the way back from 1995. This is why we read, gentlemen. This is why you're supposed to be reading, period. But this is why we read in the Gentleman's Club. This is why there's a book list. Yes, there's a book list. Along with the fireside chit chat, there's a book list. And you know what? I will make my book list tonight. I think it's the 26th. So the 27th, I shall make my book list and upload it. Record it. I'll probably upload this on the weekend after church. So my lady could drag me to church on Friday. Anywho, gentlemen, this is why we read. I think T.D. Jakes had said it. He was with some working out. He met some guy in the gym. For some reason, I don't know how the conversation began. So he told T.D. Jakes that you exercise for your body, you pray for your spirit, and you read for your mind. So you strengthen and develop your mind when you read. And there's another benefit of reading. Like, this comes from Confucius. Food for thought again, within the food for thought. An overturned cart is a warning to those that follow. Now, what does that have to do with reading? Well, why should I go and spend years of my life learning through experience when if I sit my duff down for an hour or two, I could learn what someone has learned, spent 40 years of their life learning? That makes sense. Why waste my life, my time, learning through experience what someone learned in 10, 20, 30, even 40 years of existence? This is why you read, gentlemen. It's a shortcut to living well. I've learned much from Napoleon Hill. And if you do yourself the favor and read his work, you will learn much also. I devoured Napoleon Hill's work as a young man from back in '86. Think and Grow Rich. I spent my last $10 on that book. I tell you no lie, I must have read that book over 300 times. The only book I read that much was The Art of War by Sun Tzu, written by James Clavell. I've read both of those books at least 300 times. The effect it had on me, or both of those books among the other books had on me, is unbelievable. Whenever I look back over my life, I have to, even like David said, only a fool would say there is no God. I have to say there is a God. Because I realized my growth took place based on the books that I read. my decisions were founded based on the wisdom I unearthed from the books that I read. Avoiding problems before they even showed up saved me a lot of money, time, energy, and nonsense, because I've learned what to look for well in advance from those who live longer than I have with more experience, who penned their wisdom. All right, gentlemen, I cannot preach, stress, or say enough about the importance of reading. This is something you have to do to understand. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you. I'm glad I did this, because now I'm going to do a book list for you. Okay, goodbye.